Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Stampin' Chat Live. I am Gina from Gina K Designs, and it's great to see all of you joining us from all around the world. Tonight we're going to have some fun because we're going to be making a little fish card with the new Sunny Days card kit, and we're going to be using the Just Keep Swimming Stampin' Die bundle along with the new Master Layout 16. But before we get started, let's say hello to Tom. Hey, Tom.
It's the crafter dinner crowd.
The crafter dinner crowd. I just shared our YouTube over in Facebook, so I see lots of our Facebook friends joining us too. Hello, hello. Are you ready for tonight, Tom?
Yes, I am ready for tonight. What am I doing tonight?
Well, you're not in quite as a dead space as you were on Thursday with our premiere, right?
Oh, that was fun.
It was fun. Because it was fun for us because we got to chat with you all live in the comments, and that is so much fun. But this is fun too, right? And at least tonight we can answer questions live and interact with you live, so.
Mixing it up.
Exactly. And will you be back later, possibly, Tom?
I will.
With a word of the day?
Okay.
All right. That sounds good. All right, well, let's get started because we have a lot to do tonight. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to use this stamp set. And let's make sure it's not too zoomed in. It is. Let me zoom out a little bit. This is the Just Keep Swimming stamp set. And I wanted to mix and match this with the coordinating die set, and I wanted to use the Master Layout 16 die set. Now, I put mine on a magnet, but you can store yours in, a storage pocket or however you like to store your dies. But I wanted to show you how to use some of these elements. I know that these three dies right here are a little confusing, and I think it would be helpful to see how they work and how to make them work together. And then I'm also going to do the fishbowl, because I'm going to make a little fishbowl card. And these are the dies from the fishbowl. Let me get this off the magnet. There we go. These are the fishbowl dies. Then we're also going to use this die here that actually has a little something in it from last time. So let's get rid of that. This is the seaweed. And then we're going to use this element, which creates the sand at the bottom of the fishbowl. So these elements that are left over from Master Layouts 14 make the porthole. And I did show you a little card that I made on release party night, and I will be replicating that card coming up very soon in one of our lives. But I want to show you the original card that I made that I shared in our live. This is the original card that I'm going to recreate tonight, but I think I'll use some different elements as far as what I put inside that fishbowl. And I'm also going to use a different greeting because Ding Dong Me left this greeting in my MISTI at home. So I'm going to be using Hope to See You Soon this time. And then I thought I would make one of these. Let me grab it here. I thought it would be really fun to put a tiny little jellyfish inside of the fishbowl tonight. So, but I'm not going to have him turquoise because that's a lot of turquoise in there. I think I'll make him a bright and colorful little jellyfish. And I know that you don't keep jellyfish in a fishbowl. However, I watched Finding Nemo, and I know that there were a lot of things. There was a squid in there, wasn't there, Tom?
A squid in the fishbowl?
Or maybe not.
Squid in the fishbowl?
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. There was some kind of shrimp in there that used to clean everything, remember? So I don't think most people keep shrimp in a fishbowl, but I'm going to put this little jellyfish in my fishbowl. Why not, right? Let's just be whimsical. We have this one to refer to if we want something a little more fishbowl anatomically correct. But this is going to be fun too. All right, we do have other fish in here that would be very cute in there, including this one would be really cute. We could put a seahorse in there. These two, of course, are adorable, but why make the card exactly the same? We already have this sample. Let's jazz it up a bit. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is the background. So I use the Bubbles cover plate, and that is this cover plate right here. It's got all these little circles that it cuts out. And I just cut this out with a piece of white cardstock. So to save some time and to not watch me just run this through the die cutting machine, you all know how to do that, I cut one out a little ahead of time just to save us some more time. Now I'm going to take a piece of cardstock that measures a little bit bigger. Well, that's a lot bigger. This is a little bit bigger, I think. Yeah, this is a little bit bigger. I'm going to take this piece of cardstock and I'm going to do a blend. All right. So let me get my blending brushes that I want to use. I've got some of those right here and a little piece of cardstock that I can work on. So I'm going to do a rainbow blend the same way that I did this. And this is super easy to do. For those of you that are new to Gina K Designs, first of all, I would like to say welcome, send a huge welcome out to all of our newbies and also all of our repeat offenders. That's what we call our regulars, our repeat offenders. Who's a repeat offender out there? Raise your hand. All right, so I'm going to be using the Gina K Designs blending brushes, and I'm going to be doing an ink blend that's a rainbow from red to orange to yellow to green to turquoise. You could use blue instead of turquoise if you want, but I think it's just fun and bright, and I feel like a rainbow is a great kids card kind of thing. And I love, well, it's great for me too, because I like really bright, fun cards. So there's all the repeat offenders raising their hand. I see you. So I'm going to start up here at the top and a little bit off of my cardstock, and I'm going to bring that red in. Now, I don't have my glasses on, so I'm going to stop here for a second and put my glasses on, but I'm not going to stop in mid-blend because I don't want any blotchy parts. So you can see that I've got my heaviest color toward the edge of the cardstock, and I'm actually a little bit lighter-handed as I work my way down. All right. Welcome all of our repeat offenders. Love you guys. And our new friends too. It's always fun to have new people here, and I know that some of our new friends may have questions that some of our repeat offenders can help them with. So feel free to chime in if you see something and I miss it or Tom misses it. We are always happy to have you guys help. All right, so I've got my first color here. This color is Red Hot. So that's my first color. Now I'm going to move to an orange. I'm going to be using the Tangerine Twist. I don't think we have more kits on the way, but we are going to be selling all of these components separately at the end of the month when our June release is here. Okay, so I am going to use some Tangerine Twist in here, and I'm coming in from the side, and I'm working my way down a little bit and then up into the red. Now, if you want more red or that doesn't feel like it's enough red, you can always go back to your red blending brush and add a little more red in there just to make it a little bit more vibrant. And don't worry about this on the side. That's not going to show. Okay, so now I've got that Tangerine Twist in there. And you can see it's nice and vibrant here, but I'm getting a little bit of a lighter blend down here because I am going to add some yellow in there, and I want that part to look a little bit of an orange yellow. And the yellow I'm going to use is Wild Dandelion. Okay. We did do more kits this time than we did last month, and we were very, very surprised how quickly this one flew out the door. But we're very glad. We know a lot of you don't have it yet because we are at about 300 to 400 orders a day right now, and we had a lot of orders, so we are definitely at about 10 to 14 days shipping still. But it's all good. It's coming. It's coming, and these videos don't go anywhere, so you'll have lots of time to make these cards. And summer hasn't even really kicked in yet. You know, I don't feel like it's kicked in until, I don't know, you know, the kids just got out of school around here, so it doesn't even feel like it's totally summer yet. Now, I need a green blending brush. What did I do with my green blending brush? Huh. It was here. Oh, let me find a different one that has a little green on it. put it... All right, well, we're going to use this one. I think this one had some spruce on it, but we're going to go ahead and use it for the Lucky Clover. My gosh, I'm starting to forget all the color names like they're my kids. You know, you call them like 6 different names before you get the right one, including the dog's name. Do you do that? Call your kids by everybody else's name? Why can we remember everybody else's name when we're trying to think of a name? I have literally called my children by the dog's name, going through the list of names. It only really happens when you're like screaming, you're mad about something. All right. So now I'm going to finish this up with some Turquoise Sea. I've got the wrong brushes in the wrong spot. So we're going to do a bright Turquoise Sea here. Now, if you want a lighter blend, you could always go from a pink to a peach, to a lemon, to an apple mint, and then down to sea glass or ocean mist, something like that. So you don't have to do it quite as bright as this, but here we go. I'm going bright. Yeah, so summer is just kicking in, so by the time you guys get your kits, you are still, you're still going to have a lot of time to make fun summer fishy cards. And even at the end of the month when these products are sold separately, for those of you that didn't get them, you're going to have the entire rest of the summer to make these kinds of cards. So it's all good. All right. Now what's really nice about using a cover plate on top of ink blending is that you don't even have to worry about having a perfectly smooth blend, because the cover plate itself takes up quite a bit of the surface area. So I'm going to trim this down now, and the reason why I did this bigger is because I want to be able to trim off these ends where it's a little darker and stuff like that. So these cover plates, all of our A2 style cover plates coordinate with our Master Layouts 2 die set, which means that this cover plate is the same size as the stitched die that comes in Master Layouts 2. They're the same exact size. They measure 3.5 inches by 4 3/4 inches. Now what that means for you is that you can cut a shadow layer using the plain die in there, and it will give you that nice little shadow edge around the outside. So that's something to take note of, that if you are getting into the cover plates and you want to have the shadow layer behind them, check out Master Layouts 2 if you don't already have that. All right, so now I am going to trim this back a little bit. Now, since this is 3.5 inches, I don't want to worry and struggle to get it lined up just perfectly. And I've got a decent border around here, so I can go just a little bit smaller. So I'm going to trim off just a little bit off of this one side here, just to get rid of some of that darkness from that side. And then over here, I'm going to take it down to, it would normally be 3.5 inches. I'm going to take it down to 3 3/8 of an inch. Okay, and you can see that that's still going to cover completely in there. Okay, now I'm going to take just a little bit off of the bottom here. And then this measures 4 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to go down 1/8 of an inch to 4 5/8 of an inch. And this way I can line this up in a super easy way. And the reason why I kind of cut it all around, especially top and bottom, is because I didn't want to cut too much of the turquoise off. I didn't want to cut too much of the red off. So now this is going to look really nice on there, and it gives you that beautiful rainbow effect. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to glue these together. And I like to use Connect glue for this. So I'm going to get some Connect glue. And the nice thing is you don't have to glue every single little bit of this. You can just I'm going to start in the center here, and I'm just going to kind of go around and add some glue here and there. You could see I'm not like being totally careful to make sure that every little single bit is covered. In fact, that's kind of messy, and you don't need it. You really don't need that much. So I'm just getting it all on here. I'm just doing dots, so I'm squeezing and just dotting as I go. I don't know how easy that is to see on the screen of what the glue looks like, but it's pretty spaced out. Just enough that every little area has something, but it's not all completely covered, and you can go pretty fast this way. I also do this when I'm doing like layers of die cuts like this. I will just do these kinds of dots and then glue the layers together to thicken it up. And if you want to do that for this card, you certainly can do that as well.
Couple quick questions.
Yes.
Will you be restocking the kit?
No, I said that earlier. We're not going to restock the kit, but everything will be available at the end of the month a la carte.
Okay, and as we've said before, we don't have information on what's in stock and what isn't, right?
We don't.
From the live. So
customer service can help with those things, and the best thing to do is to, well, let me do this first because I don't want this to dry. So I'm going to take this, and rather than trying to line it up from the front, I'm just going to flip it over and line it up so that this is in the center. And then I'm just going to press that all down and then flip it over. And that is a much easier way to line this up than trying to finagle it with your fingers. Yeah, it's only a few weeks away, and we're going to have all this stuff back in stock because, you know, the end of the month is our, gosh, the time just flies, doesn't it? It really flies. All right, so now, what was I saying about that, Tom? I'm sorry, I just didn't want everything to dry. Oh, customer service. Yeah, the best way to make sure that you don't miss out on a restock is to go to our website, find the product that you want, and click on the Notify Me button. Then as soon as it comes back in stock, you'll get an email delivered right into your inbox, and you can actually click on the product right from there and add it to your cart. Okay, so now I've got a piece of cardstock that's cut to 3 5/8 of an inch by 4 7/8 of an inch, which is just the Master Layouts 2 black panel, and I'm going to layer these two together. Okay, and you can see it makes that nice shadow layer. Now for this one, I don't have to worry about gluing. I can just take my tape runner and I can pop it right on there. Yes, this was a very popular kit. We've had some very popular kits recently. And I'm not going to lie, we've got a great kit coming up next month too. We've got a bunch of cool things coming up next month. Very cool. We're really trying to give you as much value as we possibly can when we do our kits. And I know that we know you guys have lots of options out there, so we really try to pack the volume into the kit and give you lots of different things and different styles too. Okay, so I'm just trying to get a little shreddy piece that got stuck in the glue. So there we go. Now we've got that background. Now you can do this background different ways. I showed on release party night how you can do it like this. This was just the cover plate put onto the black panel and just a few little paper pieced dots in there. So you could just do something completely different. You don't have to do it exactly this way. Maybe instead of a rainbow, you would prefer something that's more oceany, like a light blue into a wisteria, into turquoise sea, into wild lilac, so some purples and blues together, or mix a little bit of green in there to get some more like emerald, like that emerald water that you get in the panhandle of Florida, that kind of thing. Okay, so tape runner. Somebody wants to know about our tape runner. So our tape runner is a dot adhesive runner. the glue is permanent, but it's not permanent right away. So it gives you an opportunity to move things around, lift things up, move them if they don't look straight. And then once you make contact with it and you really press down and you give it a little bit of time to set, it does become permanent. All right, so now it is time to make our lines. We're going to do some die cutting with these lines. And I think that this is a place that a lot of you are looking at this master layout set and going, I don't get it. But let me show you how easy this is to do, okay? So I'm going to go full blown here and show you how to make a background, just so that you know how to make the background. And then I'm going to use part of that background to die cut my fishbowl. So even though this is a little overkill in my demo, it's still important for you to know how to use it. And once you know how to use it, you're going to feel really good about it. So I'm going to take a piece of thinner cardstock. This is our layering weight white cardstock, and I'm going to cut it down to 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Okay, and you can cut this down. You can do this any size you want up to, I believe these are a full-blown 5.5 inches. Yes, they are. So these go all the way up to the edge of an A2 card. But this is the size that I'm going to make today. So 3 3/4 of an inch by 5 inches is what I'm starting with. Then I've got 3 pieces of cardstock here. I've got Ocean Mist, Turquoise Sea, and Tranquil Teal. And I feel like these are really good oceany colors to create the waves. Now you can also do these in greens to create the look of grass and grassy hills and things like that. But we're going to use them as waves today because we're making a fishbowl. And our fishbowl, for some reason, has ocean waves in it. I'm telling you, this is the most whimsical card. So we're going to start with Tranquil Teal. And you can pick any single one of these that you want. So I'm just going to grab one here. I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to place it down here near the bottom, like that. Okay? And then I'm going to cut that out. So if you feel better about it, you can always just put a little piece of masking magic on it to tack it down. That's no problem. And I'm going to cut it out. I actually think I have my die cut machine set a little tight for this. I don't need to go that tight. Okay, so I'm going to cut this out. So now I've got my first wave of the card here. And this wave would go somewhere on this white piece. You can pick whatever spot you like the best, but that's where that's going to go. Now, you can see here, this is where I cut it out, right? This is the orientation that I have the die. You want to make sure it's not in the wrong orientation because that would be backwards. So this is the way I use that die. So now what I'm going to do for my next piece is, I'm going to put this away here. For my next piece, which is going to be Turquoise Sea, I'm working my way up from dark to light. I'm going to start with this one down here because that's in the same position as the other one. And then I'm going to pick a different one. I'll do this one. And I'm going to put this one here. Like, let's turn it upside down. I like that. I think that's crazy. And that's fun. All right? So now I'm going to take a little piece of masking magic and I'm going to hold that down and I'm going to cut that out. Okay. So now I have another wave. I could save this for a different card. I'm just going to put it aside for now. But this has given me the next wave in my line of waves. And this is the way I need this die for next time because that matches this right here. And now you can see when I put this one here and I put this one on top, they fit together. See that? They're going to fit together. I'm not worried about the edge. Not worried about the edge at all. We're going to cut all of that off, but this fits together. So now my next color, which is Ocean Mist, has to start with this one, and then I can pick another one. I'll put that one there. So can you see how these are coming together now and creating these cool wave patterns? All right, so let's cut this one out.
They look great when you leave them together, too.
They look awesome when you leave them together. You don't have to leave them together, which I'll show you in a sample, but you can leave them together, and that's what I'm going to do for my card. So this one we don't need right now. I can put that away. This die we're going to need because we need it for our next color. So I need this die in this orientation right there. I don't need this one. This could be saved for something else. And now you can see this one is going to fit right in there. And you see how we're building up? And we can do this all the way up to the top. So I am on die cut. My setting is on die cut, my top one. And my bottom one is just -1. So it's just a little bit tighter, not a lot. All right, now I'm going to go back to Turquoise Sea. So I'm going to put that same die that I just used there. And then I'm going to use this one here. It doesn't matter if it's upside down. That top one can be any orientation because whatever you finish with, that's what you're going to start the next one with. It doesn't matter if it's upside down. By using them both upside down, you actually get 6 unique wave patterns instead of 3. So now I don't need this one. And I can put that, but you can see like over here on the side, I'm starting to create other ones. These are the leftovers. I'm starting to create other pieces that I can use for future cards. All right, and this one we're going to need one more time. So now you can see I'm going back this way, right? This is all going to fit together. And my final one is going to be Tranquil Teal. And that one I'm just going to cut right here. Doesn't matter if it hangs over the edge when I line it up on my card, but I don't need to do anything at the top because this is going to be the top of my card. So here is, oh, you definitely could do it, Carol. Don't worry, you can do it. Just do it step by step with me on rewatch. So when that die just popped out. Don't try to do it now. Go back and watch the replay with your supplies, and then as I do each one, pause the video and you do it too. And it'll be easy. You'll see. It's just trying to watch it all at once and thinking you're going to remember everything might be uncomfortable. All right, so now I've got all my pieces here, and all I'm going to do is tape these down onto my cardstock. They don't have to be perfect. Now, you could do it more than one way. You could either put a little space in between and create a white line, or you could go right up against it, which is what I'm going to do today. I'm going right up against it. If you wanted to do the spaces, it would look something like this with the spaces in between. But if you don't want to do the spaces, which I don't want to do today because I just want to create a fishbowl background, and I'm not real worried about the white lines because I'm going to have a lot of stuff in front of it, and I just want the wave feel, then I'm just going to do them all together like this. All right. And I'm going to show you how to finish it off to make it your card panel. And then I'm going to chop it up because I'm going to do something different with it. But this is just the little tutorial on how to create this. And they fit together like a puzzle. And I know it looks weird, wonky, not a big deal. It's kind of going all off center. It's not going to matter. As long as we have this bottom one that's fairly straight. There we go. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take that and we're going to trim it down. So we've got, this is straight because I lined that up along the edge. So we can use that at the top of our paper cutter to just trim off a little bit on the side. Make a nice straight line. Now we can trim this off at, let's say, 4 3/4. And then we can trim this side off at 3 1/2. And now we've got the perfect panel for an A2 card, which is, where's my background? It's the same size as this, and that would layer nicely with the master layouts too. So you see how cool that looks? I mean, it's just super fun. And you can do it so that like this gets lighter. If you don't have colors of cardstock like this, you can ink blend your own cardstock and you could create, let's say you did these 3 wavy or these 2 wavy, and then you did clouds on these in different colors. So you'd still have that kind of patterned look, but they would actually be clouds. So you'd have the ocean and the sky. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I want to cut out the center of my fishbowl to look like that. So let's start first with the fishbowl dies. I know they're under here somewhere. Oh, here they are. Okay, so we're gonna do the fishbowl first. Now the fishbowl, I know that these border dies are the most fun, and you know, all of these dies, I don't know if you saw, but Shelly in our Facebook group, Shelly who works here, she's amazing. She made a little snow globe card, and Kathy Z had mentioned it in her previous video that this could be used as a snow globe instead of a fishbowl. So lots of people have been thinking about that. So like this master layout set, you use it in the summer as a fishbowl. You do it as in the winter as a snow globe. I heard Kathy Z say that when she was introducing it. You can use the circles that fall out of the porthole. You can use the porthole as a frame. You can use these waves as a background. So even though it's ocean oriented, it really can be used for just about anything. All right, so now we're going to do the fishbowl part.
That would look really cool with a straight line coming down and a fish hook on the end.
And a straight line, what?
A straight line coming down.
Oh,
and
yeah, like you're fishing in here.
And a worm on the fish hook.
That would be very cool.
And the sentiment
I like that
would
idea.
be, you're quite the catch.
I love it. All right, you're designing the next one.
Back to the disc.
All right, so we're going to start with the bigger one of these two. We're going to cut that out first. Actually, you could cut them out at the same time if you want. If you feel confident about that, in fact, let's do it. So you can layer these together so that you've got a nice border around there. Okay, just give me a minute here because I've got a shadow coming in from this side that's making it not look perfectly centered. But it's going to be centered enough because all it needs to be is, what's the motto? Better than horrible. All right, I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to tape this down first so it doesn't move. Can I tape it down? Yeah, just to get it to stay still. And then I only have to focus on taping one down. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. But if you're not comfortable with doing this all at once, I totally understand. You can do them, that didn't even tape it down. What am I doing? All right, we're gonna tape it down over here instead. Just give me a minute. It's better to take your time and do it right the first time rather than having to do it a second time. Okay, so we've got it in position. Now we're gonna run it through the machine and hopefully, that is a great sentiment, Tom. Quite a catch, or quite the catch, whichever one you said. I like it. And now what we've done here is we've created the outside of the fishbowl. Okay? Now this inside piece, you can keep that for something else. Why not? But we're going to take that inside piece and we are going to cut this. I'm going to do it like this because I'm going to put sand in there, so I want to make sure that I see some of that turquoise. And if you like this, you know, this side better, you certainly can do that. Whatever you like better. I'm going to do it over here a little bit. Like that. And then I'm going to cut it. And this is the inside one. It would be good for... It's a great comment. It would be good for a toilet seat. Okay. See? Getting creative. So now I've got the inside of my fishbowl that's got that cool pattern, and that's going to fit right inside of there. And if you want, you could double or triple this up so this would sit a little higher. You could put a piece of acetate there and turn this into a shaker card. But this is what we're going to use. We're not going to make a shaker card. I hate to throw this away. I won't, because I feel like I could maybe get a second one out of that and use it for another fishy card. Now we need to do our sand. So I have a little bit of craft cardstock here. And the sand element is this little piece right here. So I'm going to cut that out. Oh, thank you guys. And it is so great to see all of you here tonight. It really is. You make us so happy. We love spending time with you. I was not feeling very well before this video. Just, you know, tired, and I'm so energized when I'm with you guys. And you see, this is going to go at the bottom of this fishbowl to create a little bit of sand. So it's all going to make sense. Now, we need to do one more thing, which I forgot to do earlier, but it won't take but a minute to do it. I've got a little piece of cardstock here, and what I want to do is I want to color this cardstock in some of that Lucky Clover. What did I do with my inkstand? Here it is. Some of my Lucky Clover. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here with the Lucky Clover, and I'm just going to do some Lucky Clover, just like that. Okay? Doesn't have to be pretty. That's good enough. And then what I'm going to do is cut out my seaweed out of that piece. Now I could have used a piece of regular cardstock in color, right? I could have done that, but I decided, is that going to drive anybody crazy that it's crooked on the screen? Here, let me fix it for you. There, it's better. I think it was only going to drive me crazy, but as long as one of us is crazy, we'll fix it. And then I'm going to lay that on top there. So this is going to go kind of from a darker green up to where it's kind of fading out near the top. And then I'm going to cut that out. Now, like I said, you could have used just a regular piece. A regular piece of green cardstock. But I kind of like doing the ink blending on some of this to get some of these cool looks. So there we go. We've got our little bit of seaweed, but we're not done coloring that. We're going to add a little bit more color. But let me get the die cutting machine out again. Oh my goodness. I'm bringing it in. I'm taking it out. I'm bringing it in. I could have organized this better. If this was a pre-recorded video, it would be much more organized. But you guys get it. Now I'm going to get some Christmas pine ink. This seems to be a new favorite combination of mine, Christmas pine and Lucky Clover. And I'm going to get my blending brush here. I just have this is one of our detail brushes. I'm just going to add a little bit of this Christmas pine down here. And bring it up. See, so that now I've added a little bit of cool color to that. Kind of loving that. And you could always go in with a little bit of your wild dandelion. I know this is big, but I'm just going to add a little bit of that on the edge there. Can you see how, let me find some white cardstock here. Can you see how it's glowing a little bit at the tips there? I don't think that's the best color to look at it. Let's look at it on black. See how it's glowing a little bit more on the tips with that little bit of yellow? Okay. All right, now let's assemble our little fish bowl, and then we can figure out our fish and our greeting. So here are the pieces for the fish bowl, and then I cut these two out. That's this piece here and the one I just lost. Here it is, these two. Let's zoom out quite a bit here. So I cut these two out twice, and then I glued them together just to thicken them up a little bit, because these are going to be sitting on top and they're kind of sitting a little bit free off the edge of the fishbowl. So it does kind of make sense to have those a little bit thicker. And you know what? I'm going to cut one more thing. Sorry about that, but I got to cut one more thing. I'm going to cut out one more plain big fishbowl die. Let me get another piece of white cardstock, because I want to kind of have a backing here that I can work on. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. I don't want this thing to be directly on the bubble background. I want to be able to pop it up, and I can't pop it up when it's all different pieces. So I have to kind of have a main piece that I can pop it, that I can use to build the fishbowl on. So that's this without the center, without the small one cutting it out. That's this. So now this is going to go on top of this. So we're going to put those two pieces together. What's going on, Tom? I'm not looking up enough to see what you're doing. Oh my goodness. So again, I'm just doing that little dot thing. Doesn't have to, you don't have to like saturate it with glue. In fact, I think if it's got too much glue, it kind of warps the paper. You just need to make contact. Hey, Kathy Z. I was just talking about you. In a good way. Always in a good way. Okay, so now I've got my little fish bowl together. And now I'm going to put my center of my fish bowl in there. So I'm going to glue that down in there. And again, if you wanted to, this little rim around the outside, if you wanted to cut 3 or 4 of them and really build them up, you certainly can do that. But you don't have to do that. So I'm just adding a nice, very thin coat of glue in there. And I'm going to piece that right in. There we go. Okay.
Very satisfying.
It is nice when it works, right? Now I'm going to put the top of the fishbowl on. That's going to go there. And we don't need a lot of glue. I'm actually going to put the glue right here instead of on the back. This way it won't, you know, go past the edge. And then, make sure I'm in the screen. I'm going to try to center that. Put my finger there and wiggle it into place. Okay, so now we've got our little fishbowl. You want redback spiders on the toilet seat? You guys have some very interesting wildlife down there, including the spiders in season with the cobwebs everywhere. That's kind of, you guys are brave. Although, you know, we all have our things, right? Like, you guys know how to deal with that because that's what you have. And we have mosquitoes that are like, honestly, in Wisconsin, the mosquito is the state bird because we have so many mosquitoes. All right, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here. And now I'm going to put the bottom of this on. It could be a gumball machine, Sue. That's a great idea. See, you guys are like coming up with the ideas. I love that. And now we're going to put this little bottom here on. Let's see if I can get this straight. We'll see. Does that look straight? That looks pretty straight. Straight enough. Better than horrible. That's all it has to be. Okay. Now I'm going to put the little sand in here. That's what I love. I love when we come up with stuff and then you guys take it and run with it and turn it into all kinds of things. It's very fun. And then this is going to go right down here. Just got to find the spot. And now we have our sand at the bottom of the fishbowl. Okay. Now, I really wanted this guy to be brighter. I was thinking about making him orange because I don't know if he just disappears in this. Do you think he's cute like that? Tell me if you like him. I do. I think he's cute. I don't know that he needs to be orange. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Okay, so we are going to, and I know this isn't like traditional. Obviously, we wouldn't have a jellyfish in our fish tank. And we wouldn't have our jellyfish popped up on the fish tank. But let's just do it because it's fun. You know, let's just have fun with it. So we'll make room over here for him like that. Oh, I think it's cute. We got to do it. So let's get the seaweed in place first. So I'm going to put a little glue here on the back of the seaweed. So for those of you that are just joining us, there were a lot of really good tips and tricks on how to create this type of background with the dies that come in Master Layouts 16. So definitely check out the rewatch if you missed that, because there's a lot to learn there, and I think you'll like it. You'll like how easy it is to create cool backgrounds. And these backgrounds don't have to be ocean waves. It's just a cool look, and it can be any colors you want, and it can look like grass, it can look like landscape, mountains, or it can just look like a fun background. So let's pop him up with a foam square. I'm going to use a big one just right in the middle. And we'll just put him right here because he's got to be floating. I'm going to move him over just a little bit. That's pretty cute, actually. Now, I think for a background color, let's play off that tranquil teal a little bit and see how that looks. I think that might bring it all together. If we've got tranquil teal in the background, and then we've got this, and we've got that little splash of tranquil teal in there, I feel like it brings it all together. So I think I'm going to do that. What do you guys think? You think that looks good? Please say yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Please say yes. Show the new comments, Tom. I got to see that they're saying yes. Okay. All right, good. All right. Here we go. So I'm going to cut this piece. It's 4 1/4 by 11. And I'm going to score it down here at the 5.5 inch mark. I don't need to be in quite so close. You would think I should know how to score a card by now, but see? I'm making mistakes. Now let's put this, I feel like it's going to look better if you can see it on something brighter here. So let's, maybe even brighter than that. I think that's going to help the look, the overall look, the visual. So I'm going to layer these two panels together. I know the turtle in the window. I got to make that card next, or at least one of the next couple of videos. I got to make the turtle with the porthole. And now I think we should pop that up too. Give it a little bit of dimension in there. And this is why I wanted to use this backing, because you can assemble the whole thing off the card, and then you can use foam squares, something like that, to pop them up. And it's also good to have this background piece too if you're doing a shaker card, because you can get everything kind of laid out on that panel, and then you can have another, you know, this part layered up with foam and acetate, and it'll make it pretty easy. So let's get this here, because we're going to put our greeting below it. I want to make sure that looks pretty centered, and it does. Can I go up just a hair higher? Yeah, let's go up just a hair higher. Right about there. And then I feel like he's looking at me. Does that look centered? I feel like it doesn't. I feel like it's to the right a little bit. Now it'll be to the left. And I'll go, but no, that looks better. Okay. So now I want to put a little strip sentiment down here from the kit, from this stamp set. And again, I left my Just Keep Swimming at home. So we're going to do Hope to See You Soon. So Tom, while I stamp out this greeting, I see people saying, word of the day, word of the day. They need the word of the day.
Word of the day.
Word o' the day.
Word o' the day. Okay, so today's word of the day, if you are in the habit of bringing new life into your ink pads and re-inking your ink pads, you are a believer in reincarnation. Right? Reincarnation.
Reincarnate.
Believe.
Believe in your ink pads.
Back to the dead space.
Very good. That's so cute. I love it. All right, I have the wrong color. Oh, that's funny. So I'm going to stamp this with black onyx. That's a very good one. Good word of the day. And let's stamp it again, just for good measure, on the other side. Hey, Mindy Egan. I was just talking to Mindy on the phone. There we go. So now I'm going to cut this out with Master Layouts 3. Master Layouts 3 is a Master Layouts die set that was geared toward wreath building because it makes square cards. Not that you have to make a wreath card if you want to make a square card. You can make a square card just because you want to. But if you want to make a square card, and you want it to have that fancy stitching around the outside, Master Layouts 3 is great for that. I also used it in my challenge card this month over in our Facebook group, so you can take a look at that. Now, what I want to do here is I want to use the strip sentiment die, one of the strip sentiment dies from the Master Layouts 3 die set. And here is the Master Layouts 3. So it's got a ton of dies in it. And it's got these really skinny little flag strip sentiments. So I'm going to use this big one to cut out Hope to See You Soon. Put these back. And again, I got to get the die cutting machine. I'm telling you, if I organized it, we would have die cut everything in one fell swoop. But, you know. We're just gonna, I feel like, there. Has to be straight. So now I'm going to, this is awfully big. I don't know why I use such a big piece of cardstock, but I am going to use some of these little Masking Magic strips that I've been using. Really need some new ones. And I'm going to line that up. So it's straight. And then I'm going to cut it. Ooh. Here we go. Wish me luck. I always worry. Okay, good. You all die cut as you go. Well, because you don't know what you're going to do, right? So you got to, oh, I want to die cut this. I want to work on this. And then, oh, I think it moved. Oh, no, it didn't. Looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Not too bad. Might be a little big for this die, but I think it's cute. So we're going to put that there. I think I can put this away for good now. And I'm going to pop up the greeting too, because I feel like everything popped up on this card is the way to go. I don't think you can pop up enough stuff. So I'm going to use some of these 1/4 inch foam squares. Should I do? No, see, you know, everybody with their nice nails, I just got to do it with my fingers. I'm the worst. I did paint my nails with clear. So lovely. I gotta get with it. And so let's try to line this up here so that it looks good. Hope to see you soon. Is that a good spot for it? Maybe over just a little bit. Look pretty good. That does look pretty good. Pretty good. Better than horrible. And then, instead of doing a shaker card, which I love shaker cards, but I also love the idea of a little bit of sparkle and shine. Ooh, we have a hot rod truck out there. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that's really quite the hot rod going by. Instead of a shaker card, sometimes you just want to add a few little shimmery, glittery things. And that's enough. So I'm going to add one here. I'm going to add one up here. I think I'll add a little one here. And that might be enough. Let's just see. We'll add the tiniest one down there at the bottom, and we'll do like a medium-sized one over here. If I could have given that glue a minute to set, it would have been easier. There we go. Little one up there. And a little one down at the bottom here. And that just gives me a little bit of sparkle on this card. Isn't that fun? So here is tonight's card, and let's take a look at the original card that I made for the release party, which is a little more realistic as far as fishies and who would be in a fishbowl. But still, they're both super fun, right? I mean, they're cute. And honestly, that little guy just looking at you with his big eyes, hoping to see you soon. Can't pass him up. All right. Yes, I used just a which Prismacolor pencil did I use? That's a great question. I had it here a second ago. Let me look real quick in this bin of colored pencils. I used, it's one that I use a lot. Not that one. Let me just test them out here and I'll tell you exactly which one I used. I just need my little piece of white. Yep, this was it. I used light aqua. I used Kelly green, and then I added a little bit of yellow. I added a little bit of a lemony, oh no, it's this. I added Chartreuse to the bottom of the little tentacles, and I did Kelly green at the top of his little tentacles. Gotta be careful when you're talking about tentacles, Tom. I'm gonna keep these colors out so that I can list them in the description underneath the video on YouTube. So I'll be listing these colors here. I can't remember quite what I used, but I'm pretty sure it's these two because they're very close to the edge here, along with this one. They're just sitting right at the beginning. So I'm pretty sure these were the colors that I used for these fish. So I'll add those two. These are my most used colors, honestly. I use them all the time for this kind of stuff. So I will add those color names as well into the description here on YouTube. All right, Tom, what do you think? Which one do you like better?
Oh. I hate it when you do that.
Sorry.
Oh, which one do I like better?
Here, let me get some white behind them. There we go.
I can't choose. They both have their character. But no, I'm not going to choose.
You're not going to choose?
Gonna do it.
All right. Well, I see people saying the jellyfish they like better.
Okay.
So I like them both too. But that jellyfish, his eyes, too cute. Okay, well, Tom, we got to give away some gift cards, or a gift card tonight.
Gotta have them all.
A gift card tonight. If you're new here, you're already entered into the contest if you just said hello, because we use the chat box that comes up on our software, and Tom is able to pick a winner from it. So
randomly.
Random winners.
Random.
All right.
All right, here we go. Drum roll. Cheesiest of drum rolls. Yeah. And the winner tonight is Gloria Davis. Gloria Davis.
Yay, Gloria! Congratulations, Gloria. You win a $15 gift card to Gina K Designs. All you have to do is send your name and what email address you want it delivered to info@ginakdesigns.com, and we will get that sent out to you. Well, everybody, this was so much fun. I hope you had fun tonight. I hope you learned a couple new tips and tricks for using the Master Layout 16 die set, and I hope that you will give this card a try when you get your kit. And for those of you who decided against the kit, when these products come out separately, as far as the fish, you can always pick it up then. Master Layouts is still available, I believe, if you wanted to mix and match this with other fish and cute things that you have in your collection as well. You can find it all at ginakdesigns.com in the What's New category. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Tom and I will be back on Thursday for another Crafternoon Live. That starts at noon Central Time, and we hope you will join us then. In the meantime, stay safe and healthy. We love you all so very much, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.